Hi students, this is Mrs. Morgan with Chapter 1, Section 2, Order of Operations. After this lesson, you will be able to evaluate expressions using the order of operations. What is the order of operations? The order of operations is how we approach problems with more than one step. First, we do anything in parentheses. Then, we do anything that has exponents. Then we do multiplication or division. If you have both, you go left to right. Then we do addition or subtraction. And again, if you have both, you go left to right. This is also known as PEMDAS. In our first example, we are going to evaluate this expression. And I look at this, and I look for parentheses, and I don't have any. So now I'm going to look for exponents. And I have an exponent here, 2 to the third, and that's 2 times 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And I'm going to drop down everything else, so that comes right down. And I don't have any more exponents, so I'm done there. Now I'm looking for multiplication or division, and I have both, so I'm going to go from the left to the right. So first I'm going to look at 48 divided by 8, which is 6, and then I'm going to bring down my times 3 and my plus 5. And I'm going to continue to work across and do my multiplication, which is 18. And then I have my multiplication and my division are all taken care of. I drop down my plus 5, and I get 23. In our next example, we are going to start by looking at our parentheses, and we have 2. So we can work left to right with those. 8 minus 3 is 5. And 5 plus 2 is also 5. And they can stay in parentheses after we answer them, but when we do that, you just need to remember that it's multiplication. So that takes care of our parentheses. Exponents we do not have. So now we look for multiplication and division, and really all we have left is a bunch of multiplication. So doing this, we're going to start on the left, and we're going to work our way across. And we have 15 times 5, which is 75. Hopefully my phone will stop ringing in just a second. Morgan, I'm recording. I'm recording right now. Can I call you back? Thanks, bye. Okay, moving on. In this example, we have a couple of sets of parentheses. When you have more than one parentheses, we're going to work inside first and then go out. So we're working on our parentheses, and in here we have 6 minus 2, which is 4. And we're going to drop everything down. And we're still going to be working inside of our parentheses. So we have 12 divided by 4, which is 3. And we leave it inside the parentheses, but it's just sort of treated as a plain number now. So done with parentheses. Now we look for exponents, and we do have an exponent here, 3 squared, and 3 times 3 is 9, and that can come right down. Now the 4 being right next to this, we know means multiplication, so we have 4 times 9 is 36. Moving forward, we have a larger example, and when you have a big fraction bar like this, you're going to treat the numerator as one object, and you're going to treat the denominator as one object. And I think for space, I'm going to move our numerator over here. So, oh, really? It didn't copy the 6. I'll put that right there. There we go. So, looking at this, we're going to figure out the answer for this, and 2 to the 5th power is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, otherwise known as 32. And then we're just going to drop everything down. And then I have subtraction and I have multiplication, so I'm going to do the multiplication first, and that is 6 times 2 is 12, and I'm going to drop my 32 down. 32 minus 12 is 20. So that's the answer for the top part, our numerator. Now we're going to find the answer for our denominator. So I'm going to grab that, put that down here, and we're going to start, we have no parentheses here, so we're going to hit our exponent first. 3 to the 3rd power is that 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. We're going to drop everything else down. And I don't have any more exponents, so I'm going to look for multiplication or division. 5 times 3 is 15. And I'm going to drop the rest of this down. And now I have a couple of subtractions left, so I'm going to start on the left-hand side, and I'm going to work my way across. 27 minus 15 is 12, and I'm going to drop down that minus 2 for 10. But we're still not quite done, because this 10 is our denominator. So coming back to the top, we still need to finish simplifying right here. 20 over 10 is 2, and that is my final answer. Now, moving on, we're going to evaluate if x is 4, y is 3, and z is 2. So basically you plug in and then you solve. So instead of this expression, we'll have 2 times 4 squared minus 3 plus 2 squared. And you're going to start by looking for anything in parentheses, which means that we're going to start right here. And inside of our parentheses, we have an exponent and a subtract. So we're going to handle our exponent first. 4 squared is 16, and we're going to drop everything else down. Now, we still have parentheses that we're trying to work out. 16 minus 3 is 13. And since there's nothing in them anymore, you just think about it like multiplication. So this is multiplication now. So we're going to move past our parentheses. We're going to look at exponents. And we have 2 squared is 4. And we're we're going to drop everything down. Two times 13 is 26. Plus 4 for our final answer, 30. Our last example, and I can already hear it in your head right now. I have to write all that? Yes, it is 3 sentences. You will survive. Mr. Friel rents a car for 5 days at $36 a day, plus 10 cents for each mile driven. If he drives 200 miles. Write and evaluate an expression. So first we're going to write it, then we're going to figure it out. So evaluate, find the answer, to find out how much it costs to rent the car. Well, first we know that it's for 5 days at $36 per day, which means we're going to multiply, and these parentheses just mean multiplication, plus it's 10 cents times the number of miles driven, which was 200 miles. And 5 times 36 is 180 plus 0.10 times 200. I should have just done that in the same step. That's okay. 10 cents times 200 is 20. So in total, it cost us $200 to rent the car, technically speaking. I believe it was Mr. Friel. And that is Chapter 1, Section 2, Order of Operations.